What up, YouTube? It's your girl Keish. And if you haven't already tapped in to my channel, What the Fuck News, go ahead, like, subscribe, and share. I bring you news that will make you rethink your whole life. I also will bring you news that'll make you question everything and make you ask yourself, what in the fuck did I just watch? However, Um, if you guys haven't already, went to my YouTube channel, What the Fuck News, and check out some of my encounters. It makes me really want to question the house that I'm living in now in 2022. I've always experienced the paranormal, shadow people before I even knew what shadow people were. I'm just now learning they are called watchers. I don't know what they're watching for. I don't know what they want. However, um, the encounters that the UFO encounter that I encountered, me and my husband actually, he's not the type that experienced any of that. He doesn't even really believe in none of that stuff. Me and my middle child always have experiences of the same thing, but not knowingly that we had it until it come about. However, since I've moved here at this house, we've been here for 5 years, and I feel like that I've encountered more of experiences than I ever experienced in my life. So I really need to do my research on this home that I'm living in. Maybe it can give me answers I've been experiencing, not only with the UFO encounter that my husband and I experienced. I was recording from my phone, he was recording from his phone. We hit the corner and was coming into the neighborhood, pulling up to the house, and we caught what we thought was lightning and bolting in the sky, thinking that it was going to form clouds to start to actually storm outside. Unfortunately, that was not what was happening, and we pulled out our cameras and recorded with our phones at the same time, two separate devices, and the sky was just lit up like a firework parade. I mean, you would think that it was Christmas lights in the sky. So we debunked everything. We called around, and because it was around, I think, December of last year, so we made sure that you know, no activities down on the riverfront. They weren't having like a fireworks show, a Christmas fireworks show, or nothing with lights and anything. But I mean, if you take a look at it, it was really a mothership that we experienced in the sky. It was so big. It's if you see the width of how lengthy the lights are flashing on that space shuttle, you would definitely think that it's a it's a community. It's a motherboard ship. It really is. So if you haven't checked it out, go on my YouTube page and scroll down, and you will see my encounters of a UFO here in my neighborhood. However, I've experienced here a lot of noises in this house. A lot of times, you have creaks and sounds all the time from an older, modern type of house. So when you hear and you're by yourself, you hear every sound that you can possibly hear, from every creak and crack, every wind that blows, every squirrel that jumps off the roof diving for nuts. Um, One thing that got really weird was my TV kept coming unplugged. So, show you guys. I couldn't determine why my TV would kept coming unplugged. And so I would make sure that my kids or none of that has been tampering, meddling with nothing in the home that I can't explain why I wake up every time after about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. And I also have footage of that, me trying to capture encounters or something that's going on that I can't explain. Um, Most of the activity when I seen about a day or two, within a day or two, this wall right here is where I very first seen appeared to be a humanoid figure. I was sitting edge of this couch facing this way, and like, really weird. And I felt a big gust of wind, like, like it hit me so fast that whatever ran past me so fast, it felt like it ran through me. And I know nothing was there because when I looked up, it scared me so badly. I was like, woo! Like, you know how you just, something takes your breath, but it kind of like scares you so badly. So I kind of turned around at this door and I'm like, and this door was shut. So when I have some alone time, I call this my quiet room. I have, the water behind me is my fish tank, and this is where I do a lot of brainstorming, a lot of thinking, a lot of planning and marketing and stuff for my businesses and everything. So this is where I feel like I find my peace. But that day it was not peaceful. Right at this door, I saw what would be a humanoid figure that's shaped like an alien structure type of humanoid. It was not green like everybody mentioned, but it was like a grayish pale. Like the skin was like a grayish color. And I think right after whatever it was that flew by me, that was the entity that stood there in the door. And I don't think that it realized that I realized that I could see it. So when I screamed real loudly and I was just shocked. And the minute I screamed, he closed his eye. His eyes went big. He closed his eyes and then he vanished. He camouflaged into that door and disappeared. And I know what I was seeing. I've been hearing things all morning, guys. I've been hearing things all morning. Um, what's so crazy is that, and I hate to keep switching subjects, but being in this home alone, I don't even think I want a house any bigger. I promise to God, it's not. This is a nice, decent home, really nice size, and I think it's just too big for my taste because these experiences that I be having me spooked out, and I'm the only one that can actually see things in this house. Um, I was just brainstorming an hour ago, and I was hearing like bumping, and I kind of forget. The kids are at school, so with my other son in his room that's right beside mine, he keeps his door closed because boys are so messy and their rooms are so messy at times. But oh, I heard some bumping, so I'm like, okay, it's too quiet in this house. I got it too quiet. I'm just hearing everything that I don't want to hear, and I'm making things of things that's not a thing. So, of course, I came in here and checked, and I don't see. I just want to make sure I'm not catching anything that you guys might can see that I can't see. And so, I'm checking his room, I'm checking closets, and just making sure nothing fell. So I go back and sit down. But the thing that strikes me is when I actually see something versus hear something, I can hear something all day during the daytime, but I never can discover where it's coming from. But what got me is that when I was just pondering and filming and recording for my YouTube channel this morning, I closed the blinds because I want to shut out all the light. My curtains are sun block resistance and light resistance. So when you close the blinds and shut the curtains, it automatically shuts down and get pitch black dark in here. And so when I'm recording, I don't want any light to reflect off of my recording. So it just dawned on me that I only began to hear noises this morning when in fact the whole room was dark. So it made me feel like, did I make whatever entity that could be present in this house comfortable because I turned down the lights and wait, I had this light on. Wait, I know I had this light on, y'all. Wait, because I got spooked. I got spooked. I know I had this light on. Maybe I turned it off. See, this is why I probably in here to see what the hell is going on because I just get so worked up that I don't know what's what anymore. um, Anyway, another experience, and I know I'm all over the place, but another experience that I had one day, and this was probably like last year, the same experience that me and my son had at the same time. And we didn't know that we was experiencing it until we kind of bumped heads about it. So one day I got in the shower, and my youngest was in his room, the one that I showed you had the door, keeps his door closed because he has a messy room. And so my middle son that stays in this other room, this open floor room, um, was in his room, and my husband was in the kitchen cooking, preparing dinner, and I hear something, bam, bam, bam. I'm like, what the fuck is Keon doing? Excuse my language. And I'm thinking that's my baby boy because he has PlayStation and he has that VR thing where the virtual reality. And so, he's a boy, he's active. So I'm thinking, Keon, quit bumping. Who is that doing all that bumping and knocking? So, they don't pay attention to me. They like, okay, mom, just fussing, typical stuff. She's telling us keep it quiet, quiet down. So I hear something. I'm getting ready to get on in the shower, and I hear boom, 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 real loud. And I said, what the fuck? So I'm already in the shower. It's just as soapy as I want to be. And I get out the shower and I come to the door because I'm like, don't y'all hear somebody's knocking at the door? Who's banging on my door like that so loudly? I know that we don't have a doorbell. But the fact that I stuck my head out that door to see who was banging on my front door so loudly, to come to find my middle child met me in the hallway, and we kind of like, whoa, do y'all hear somebody knocking? Daddy, you hear somebody knocking? So he's asking Daddy, somebody's knocking at the door. And I said, Philip, would you please get the door? And I'm just so shocked by how heavy somebody's beating on the door. It had to be an emergency. So I'm not even finished, and I come out with my house coat, and I'm like, what is going on? Did y'all not hear that? I asked Keon in his room with his PlayStation, his game going. I'm like, did y'all not hear somebody knocking? But the weird thing about it was, I hit the light in my bathroom, and I looked out the window because I just knew for sure by the second time that I'm hearing this beating on the door, I should be able to see who it is that's knocking on my door. So I come out, my husband like, I don't hear anybody knocking on the door. And he goes and check, and my middle son is standing here with him, and nobody's at the door. Now we have the ring, so wasn't nothing caught on the ring. Wasn't no motion detected showing that nobody walked off or anybody pulled up or anybody walked up in the yard to knock on the door. So I was like, Carmelo, did you not hear it? He was like, yeah, mom, I heard somebody knocking at the door. And he said, I heard it the first time, but I thought maybe, I didn't hear it well because, we can't hear good in when people are knocking on the door. They usually do have to knock really hard, but this was just extremely loud, y'all. I cannot explain it to this day. It hasn't happened any time before me in life. Thank God it has not happened again. But I can say these are the encounters that I've experienced here in my home today and many days before this, and probably won't be my last. So, thank you guys for tuning in and watching. Let me know if you see anything out of the ordinary that I may have not captured today. I'm trying to go live more and do more recordings to show you guys my experiences. Now, I do want to leave you guys with this. I did a TikTok and I did another video showing you guys that I interviewed my son about what he thought he seen on some footage that I recorded late night about 2 weeks ago. And I saw shadow people, and I saw different sizes of humanoid people, skinny, tall men, like figures, and a creature crawling at the bottom passway of my door from my bedroom. So about 2 days later, let me get y'all updated on the activity in his house. So my oldest son has in his apartment space downstairs, and he has a bedroom down there of his living. And I had left to go to the corner store. My youngest was playing basketball. We all only used the front door that day. My oldest, when he did leave, he left out of that door and he hadn't came back. It doesn't show him coming back no time soon from the ring of the camera outside showing people coming in and out the driveway. So long story short, some days after I encountered what I encountered, you guys go check that out as well. Um, my middle son was like, when you left and went to the store and said that our pops was on the way home and for lunch break, and he'll be home soon, and he might be back. He might be by the house on break. Excuse me. Um, before you get back. So he knew that he was here by himself, but he doesn't have notification when the ring go off. Only me as the parent and his father as the parent can actually see these things, the activity as far as people coming and going. We only have it on our devices. And so he was in his room. He was in his room, right? And he was thinking that his bigger brother, this leads downstairs, which I'm going to show you guys in just a moment. Um, this is the one I said that experience things just as well. He hear things. He don't see anything, but he hears things just like I hear things. But he never experienced shadow people, nothing like that. So he's here, and he know he's by himself. I mean, baby brother had just came through the door, but that particular day, I saw my youngest go out that door, come in, go out. He came in before I went to the corner store. He said, "Mom, I'm laying down to take a nap." He's beat. He's tired. He's just come home from school. He ate good. He went to go down there and shoot a couple of hoops to stay active, and then he does his routine thing. He went in his room, and once he say he is taking a nap, he is not going to play about taking his nap. So he was in there sleep. So it was only. I mean, my middle child was here by himself, but he wasn't here by himself, so to speak. So like Keon went to his room and took a nap. He knew and seen Keon was in his room. And so he's in his room chilling, and he's thinking, okay, I hear something downstairs. He hear like the pool ball, because we got a pool table downstairs. And so he's hearing the pool table balls kind of clack, and a couple of them drop. So he's like, okay, that's big brother. He was like, Kemarius. So, he's calling for brother, and brother didn't answer. So he's like, he probably didn't hear me. He's downstairs. It's hard to hear him down there sometimes. So he say about 45 seconds after hearing what he thought was movement and balls being kind of pushed around, because we do use the pool table to put a lot of things that we may bring in the house or purchase or get delivered, and we break down the boxes, our Amazon boxes, and we open up what we have, and we dispose of all the boxes in the garage that we put a pile and all that great stuff. And so he hears balls drop again. Clack, 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 clack. I mean, he said it was so loud. It had to be thrown off the table because it was so loud. It scared him so badly because he thought about, I just called for my brother. He didn't answer the first time. And now I'm hearing the same noise, but even louder. So he was too scared to go check. He called for his brother again. Brother didn't answer. He looked out the door, out the window, and noticed that brother car wasn't in the back. He noticed that brother car, I'm not back yet. And my husband hasn't pulled up just yet, but he do pull up before I do. So this was about 2 in the evening. I don't know what it is, about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning or evening. I don't know what it is. And they waited for him to be by himself. They knew that he was going to be by himself. So long story short, by the time my son came home from a productive day, being gone all day that day, he came home and walked through the downstairs door, and he found pool table balls on the floor. He had no clue where they came from. And by the time he came upstairs to ask, why are there all the pool balls on the floor? Where it was about 4 or 5 of them on the floor. And he don't remember knocking them off the table. He'd been gone all day. I come back, they ask me, Mama, did you come downstairs around 2 or 3 o'clock? Did you use the back door? Was you down there? And I said, no, I've been using the front door all day. Y'all know how I hate to go up and down them stairs. Nobody was down there. Nobody, y'all. So I wanted them to do a spooky night with me. Lord knows. In my mind, I was glad they said, hell no. And they were shaky as hell about it because deep inside, I'm shaky as hell too. But I want y'all to see what it is that's going on. I haven't heard anything downstairs ever. I've always felt like something is watching me, especially after my husband's father passed away. We have some of his belongings downstairs, so I'm going to take this laundry I have and I'm gonna go downstairs and show you guys once I can get all this laundry. And therefore, you can see what I'm talking about. Okay. Yes. Okay. Okay, y'all. I hate going down here by myself. Let's see. Better not be no pool balls down here on this damn floor. Tell you that. Nope. They're lined up just the way we had it. This is where my son came home and found pool balls all on the floor. So they was down here talking about it. This is most spooky. See. Okay, guys. I made it down here safely. No experiences. And you are watching What the Fuck News with your girl Keish. Tap in, y'all. Tap in. Okay. Nothing so far. So good. Okay, guys. So, back upstairs I go. Ooh, I hate going down there. Guys, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, share the content. If you know somebody that knows somebody, if you know, drop your experience in your comments. In the comments, drop your story. I would like to know your story as well. Thank you for watching. This your girl Keish. What the fuck news? What in the fuck did I just watch?